All right, we are back and ready to continue with part 10 right now.
There they are!
Thank you. I'm not sure one of my kind would have done for you what you did for me. I did not expect a show of mercy. I hoped, but you could have just as easily left me to my fate.
I didn't do it for you. I did it because it was the right thing to do.
I don't understand it, but I'm glad you did.
Now that we're safe on your ship, I think you were right to bring her. Things seem a little different now than they did in the heat of battle. There's more than one way to deal with messy situations.
Just because we're back on the Resolute doesn't mean we're safe yet.
Look, this is good. Don't lose sight of that.
No surprises here. But your shoulder's separated. If you come with me to sickbay, we can get you fixed up in no time.
Thank you. I'll find you afterwards.
You two, check in at your stations. This thing isn't over yet.
Yeah, we're not safe yet was exactly what I was thinking when he was speaking. Like, that's a remarkable vote of confidence, but...
She was a good little escape pod. Not that I want another ride like that anytime soon.
You're really making us proud out there, Diaz. The lower decks don't get a lot of glory.
Well, I'm just getting started.
Hey, Diaz,
Yeah?
did you see our people over there? Miranda?
Kapoor, Hauser?
We saw Miranda and Kapoor, but they're bioformed. And as far as I know, there's no way to undo it.
That means they're not our friends anymore.
If they attack us?
We'll have to stop them. No matter what it takes.
Yeah. I guess we have to be ready for that.
I can't believe it, but I'm actually looking forward to seeing Chovak. Not that I'd expect this kind of welcome from him, but I can just imagine the look on his face.
You know what? I want to see him too. It'll be nice to get one piece of normalcy.
I'm sure we can count on him for that.
I can't believe it! You evaded the Takan, ejected their warp cores, and lived to talk about it!
That about sums it up.
They're gonna be teaching this at the Academy for years to come. I mean it. Everybody's gonna learn how you pulled it off.
I wouldn't know. Is that about the Academy? I don't know.
Yeah, when they do, make sure they get my name right. D-I-A-Z. Diaz. Edsalars too.
I'm sure no one will forget. I heard about Belle. Is Miranda?
As far as we know, she's still out there.
Well, I know Captain Rydek will do her best to get her back.
Hold on. Rydek? What about Captain Solano?
He was turned into a Takan. Rydek had to take over. She's a hell of an officer, but none of us have been up against anything like this. No one has. Not in 500,000 years.
We'll just have to step up and work that much harder to help Captain Rydek.
It's gonna take all of us.
Talk to you later.
It is agreeable to see you again.
Is that so?
It was by no means a certainty that you would return to duty here.
No, it was not.
But it was my sincere hope you would.
It is agreeable to see you as well, sir.
I concur.
You should know your absence has left engineering terribly short-handed. During your sojourn, this department has fallen unacceptably behind schedule on both regular and irregular duties.
Seems like you could use some help around here. We're ready to go to work.
I'd like to catch my breath for at least a few minutes, Carter.
Normally, I would assign you to one of the many pressing repair tasks. But, given your experience on board the Zeldy, I have suggested you join the senior staff briefing as we determine our next course of action. You can commence your maintenance shift afterwards.
I tended to an Illidian earlier. Major Sarlet Arminta.
Ah, yes. I met him at the negotiations.
I never would have imagined I'd be here, on the same ship, working together with our oppressors. But now that I am, I can imagine a future where the Hotari and Illidians are no longer enemies. I'd always hoped for peace, but it seems so far away. There's still a lot of bad blood.
Peace is often fleeting. If there's a chance, you should take it.
Peace with our former enemies may be hard for some to accept, but it's what my people need.
It's coming along nicely. Thank you, Tylus. I'll take it from here. We're almost done.
I have to brief Ambassador Spock in a few minutes.
Ambassador Spock can wait. You have some fences to mend. Personally, I'm against the needless destruction of innocent life forms, so I'm glad you transported the Draconian crystals onto the ship. But Lieutenant Bedrosian obviously feels otherwise. And right now, you need the full support of your bridge crew. Being an effective leader requires trust, but an issue as divisive as this can create discord.
I still need and value contrary opinions. I don't want everyone agreeing with me when they feel otherwise.
Oh, you'll know when Lieutenant Bedrosian doesn't agree with something. She's not shy about making her opinion known. It's been a chaotic last few days for everyone. You need to name a new first officer in preparation for what's coming. You'll have to work to regain Lieutenant Bedrosian's trust, but if she's removed from consideration, it comes down to Westbrook or Ermont. Obviously, there are pros and cons with each, but ultimately, the decision is yours. Commander Westbrook has seniority and was hoping to be Captain Solano's first officer. Ermont has the knowledge and experience that makes him more than qualified. You really couldn't go wrong with either of them.
I don't mind saying I consider Commander Ermont a strong candidate for the role.
He'd be a popular choice with the crew, and bring a steadiness to the position that others might lack. Certainly not a controversial choice, but then some may perceive that as playing it safe. You're as good as new.
Thank you, Dr. Duvall.
Always nice to have a captive audience. You really shouldn't keep Ambassador Spock waiting.
Captain.
I'll meet you inside.
I'm here to officially tender my resignation from the crew of the USS Resolute. I cannot in good conscience continue to serve aboard this ship, not while the interests of the enemy take precedent over the safety of the crew.
Lieutenant, we both know how much we need your help and expertise for the coming conflict. I have no one to replace you.
I understand, Captain. And I apologize. But my heart is not in it any longer. And to stay would be a disservice to us both.
My door is always open if you change your mind.
I appreciate that.
We'll have Ambassador Spock via subspace shortly.
Thank you, Mr. Armand.
I'll notify Lieutenant Bedrosian we're about to begin.
That won't be necessary.
Petty Officers Diaz and Edsalar have first-hand experience with our adversaries. I thought it advantageous for them to join this briefing. I understand this is unusual, but I trust you have no objections?
Talk about moving up in the world.
Excellent idea, Mr. Chovak. They deserve to be here.
In all seriousness, what Diaz and Edsalar accomplished aboard the Zeldi is nothing short of remarkable. They're both to be commended, not only for surviving against incredible odds, but for helping our efforts against these scions.
You know, Carter deserves most of the credit. None of us would have made it without his help. We'd all be bioformed by this point.
There were way more people involved than just me. Not only Petty Officer Edsalar, but we had help from an Elydian officer named Arminta as well.
Interesting.
Ambassador Spock is ready for you.
Put him through.
Captain Reindeck, your recent change in station certainly warrants mention, and I trust you to faithfully execute your expanded duties. Right now, we must keep our attention on the clear and present danger that lies ahead, the Takan and their warship. The closest populations are the Hotari and Elydian systems, and they are likely the first targets for mass bioforming. After that, lies Federation space. I have advised Starfleet Command to send an impromptu battle group to intercept and assist you, but that will take time. You are our first line of defense. And with our shield algorithms compromised, we are at a great disadvantage.
I'm glad to hear the battle group is en route, Ambassador. With what we're up against, we're gonna need all the help we can get.
And you will have it. Remember, our strength is drawn from our ability to work together towards a common goal.
Have we made any progress in finding a way to defend ourselves from the Aphilion's bioforming weapon?
Currently, our shields will not protect us, but I am compiling all of the information the away team gathered on the Zeldi and cross-referencing it against our own as well as Portal 6-3's methods.
The away team is sitting right here. They survived without getting bioformed, so we know it's possible. So, what's the secret? How do we defend ourselves? Is there a weakness we can exploit? Something we can do to avoid getting bioformed?
Well, there are no secrets. It's a serious threat, and we're vulnerable. The whole ship is.
We saw someone getting bioformed. Once it starts, there's nothing you can do.
Huh.
Can't stop it, but we might be able to slow it down. It's too soon to say for sure, but we've had some promising indications that Duridium can delay the bioforming process.
Duridium?
It's not a cure. It's not going to bring anyone back we've already lost. But Duridium is a cell stabilizer, so it has the potential to slow down the onset of physical and mental changes, if not entirely prevent them. And we might be the only ship in the fleet with this much Duridium on hand. In fact, a lot of ships wouldn't have any.
I'll forego the rest of my treatments, if it means the crew will be safe.
Captain, you'd die.
That's an honorable intention, but it's not that simple. It requires a much larger dose to be effective. We don't have enough Duridium on board to protect the whole crew. We barely have enough to protect everyone in this room.
Sounds like it won't do us much good then.
The use case I'd suggest is that it could buy a little time for an officer or a small group to complete a task or mission. But it has to be taken at the moment of exposure to the bioforming mechanism.
Prepare a delivery method for this remedy.
That raises the question, what is the mission?
Assuming the Aphelion uses shields of some kind, I don't expect it will be easy to bypass their defenses.
We may not be able to block the Aphelions' attack either. But if they do strike, we know their weapon uses transporter technology. We might be able to backtrack their signal path.
Like we did to evacuate Captain Rydek from Tau.
Exactly. We could send an away team onto the Aphelion.
So we could destroy it from the inside.
I'm not exactly sure how, but that's the idea.
So it's like jujitsu. We use their attack and turn it against them.
That's the idea.
We'll keep thinking on it. I'd rather not have to take a direct hit to punch back. There might be some other way we can turn their strength into a weakness.
We'll need to prepare a boarding party, if it comes to that.
Petty Officers Edsalar and Diaz are the logical choices to lead any away mission to the Aphelion. They have already crippled one enemy ship. If anyone can do so again, it is them.
This isn't like the engineering mission that took you to the Zeldi. Do you really have some special insights that a tactical team wouldn't?
Doesn't the fact that we're here speak for itself?
Just surviving won't be enough this time.
We found that only a Takan can operate their technology to its fullest. So, unless we want to try to do this with one hand tied behind our backs, we're definitely gonna need an assist from this portal guy.
I like that even less.
Like it or not, that's the truth.
Yes. Portal should be part of the away team. There's no question in my mind.
If this is the necessary course of action, I support it.
I will compile all the latest data on the tricorders, just in case.
In the meantime, I want you working on ways we can combat the Takan tech. Shields, weapons, anything we can use.
Yes, Captain.
Anything else, Ambassador?
I know this matter is in capable hands. Hold the line as best you can. Help is on the way.
Thank you. I have faith in all of you to meet this moment with the urgency it requires. I expect all of us to give it everything we've got. Thank you, Petty Officers Diaz and Edsalar. You're dismissed.
While we have a quorum of senior staff, there is a procedural element we need to take care of. The Resolute command codes must be transferred to Captain Rydek for control of the ship.
Of course.
Computer, transfer all command codes to Captain Jara Rydek. Voice authorization Ermot, Echo 4 Lima.
Voice authorization Duval. Beta 2 Yankee.
Voice authorization Westbrook. Alpha 7 Tango.
Awaiting your authorization, Captain.
I hope I don't have to remember this later.
Voice authorization, Rydek. Charlie. 3. X-ray.
Captain's codes transferred. The updated command structure is incomplete. Please designate a new first officer.
Who is the new first officer?
Please designate a new first officer.
So just so that we don't have the computer possibly repeating that over and over again, if you ask me in 15 minutes who I'd want to go with, this decision might be completely different, because I, honest to God, feel like either Ermot or Westbrook would be strong choices. Bedrosian was out the second that she said, if you do this, Captain, I'm going to resign. It wasn't even about her then coming over and actually tendering her resignation. The moment she said, if you do this thing, I will resign. The second that she made it an ultimatum like that, as far as I'm concerned, that invalidated her candidacy to be first officer. Between the two of them, Westbrook has he has more ideas. He has more inventive ideas. He mentioned to Diaz at one point that he was not in consideration by Captain Salarno, I think it is, because he's not a people person. I don't think that he necessarily needs to be a people person. I think that he would be an excellent first officer. However, if anything, what's ringing in my ears right now is when Dr. Duvall said Ermot would be considered by the crew to be the safe choice. They really need a safe choice right now. Like, that's not a negative at all. From what we know about the history of the Resolute, they had this horrible accident that killed a first officer that everybody respected and loved. He was a favorite among the crew. A lot of people perceive that as being the result of bad decision making and rushed timelines from Captain Salarno, as I recall. And then Rydek came aboard and had to sort of like make this call about removing Captain Salarno from the chain of command, taking him out. And even if she was proven correct, you have to imagine that morale and the level of faith and trust that the crew has in the command structure right now is extremely shaken. So going with the safe choice is the best available option. So based on what Dr. Duvall said, I just wanted to talk a little bit about why I'm making this decision. I think Westbrook is going to be very upset about it, but I also don't think that he's going to be particularly surprised by it.
I am proud to name Commander Ermot as my new first officer, effective immediately. Congratulations.
Thank you, Captain. I promise I won't let you down.
Computer, Commander Ermot is the new first officer of the USS Resolute.
Awaiting voice authorization.
Voice authorization Ermot, Echo 4 Lima.
Authorization is now complete.
Now, if you'll excuse me, there's work to be done.
Nicely done. I think that went well.
Captain Rydek!
Excuse me for a minute.
This is just unbelievable, unacceptable, inexplicable. To be the most senior officer on the bridge, and to be passed over again? I couldn't believe you went to Lieutenant Bedrosian with the information about Captain Solano being compromised instead of me. But this... I've never felt more humiliated.
Listen, I know you're disappointed. I would be too in your position. But considering our history and what we're up against, I had to decide what would be best for all of us. Which is why I chose Commander Ermot.
He's not even close to being first officer material. He's little more than a bureaucrat who's never set foot off the ship. That is a serious liability at a time when we need experience.
You're entitled to your opinion, but I completely disagree with your assessment. Commander Ermot is an extremely competent professional who's more than up to the task, and he'll be an excellent first officer.
You drove Bedrosian away? Now this? If you're not careful, you might not have any crew left, even if we do survive.
But we will survive.
Ridiculous.
I don't understand. Giving everything she's got, but it doesn't make a difference. Something is actively slowing us down.
Keep trying. What's the situation in engineering?
I can't raise them. Internal comms are down.
It's the ionic interference. It's spiking again. If we reinitialize the central communications trunk, it should compensate. I know the process, Captain. With your permission, I'll go handle it.
Of course.
If Galvin manages to catch us, there's nothing we can do. We're no match for Taconian technology. Not to mention the shield frequencies.
I'll consider any suggestions from my first officer.
We're being pulled out of warp!
I've got the Aphelion rapidly rapidly bearing down on our position.
We're being hailed by the Aphelion. Galvin demands to be heard.
On screen.
You thought you could run? That I would let you escape so easily after taking what's mine? How pathetic and predictable. At least you can take solace knowing you'll be a far braver Takan than you were as a cowardly Kobliad. Is it any wonder your people perished?
You underestimate the lengths I'm willing to go to ensure you don't succeed.
Sadly, this is as far as you'll get. We both know I hold your fate in the palm of my hand. That I could crush you in an instant if I so desired. And as much as I'd like to, you have another purpose to serve. As one of us.
Red alert! Handar, get us out of here! Evasive maneuvers!
They've hit us, decks 8 through 10. But I'm not reading any structural damage.
They were targeting the crew, not the ship.
Captain, we have to respond with force. Return fire.
Fire photon torpedoes! Target the source of the beam!
No damage from the photon torpedoes, Captain. Their shields are still at full strength. The Aphelion's just too powerful.
Damage report from the lower decks.
Still can't get through on the comms, Captain. If that was the bioforming ray, we have to assume there are now Takan on board the Resolute. They could all be Takan at this point.
Seal the bridge. No one gets access without my permission.
I think that would be wise.
I should have warned Starfleet.
Here are your new tricorders. Now go. Get to the transporter room.
We don't know who's on what side, Carter. Come on!
He has just a very leisurely jog.
Transporter room 1.
You're coming with us?
A security officer told me your funeral, which I gladly accepted.
These are concentrated iridium doses. You need to take the dose as soon as you're exposed for it to be effective. Hell, take it right before if you can get the Takan to wait while you do it.
I'm having trouble locking onto the transporter path through the interference.
I've done this before. I have to align the transporter with the tetrametric signature.
This looks more than a little complicated.
Tunnel through the shields.
Oops, hold on. This one, I mean, I earnestly don't really know. I guess that's probably about as good as it's gonna get. And then just maybe nudge this one down a bit.
There's a problem. We don't have enough power to make the jump. I might be able to divert power from...
Stand aside. The signal is now resolved. I couldn't let you fumble about any longer. Time is running short.
That's great. You must be Portal 6-3.
Yes. Guardian of the Takan Empire.
I'm Carter. Engineer of the Starship Resolute.
We're right behind you.
Do us proud over there. Ready to transport.
Energize.
The glory of it. This ship is a marvel. Even to me. It's almost a shame we have to scuttle it. The galaxy has never seen a ship like this.
It is beautiful. I'll give you that.
Resolute, come in!
We're losing cohesion.
I'm gonna try to use my tricorder as a pattern enhancer.
The signal's gone. Are they there? Did you get them?
They didn't make it.
We don't have time to mourn. We have to get to the Cartabula and disable it.
Hopefully before the battle group shows up.
Get served up for the Aphelions' next meal.
I am saturated in Taconian power readings. I can't feel the source just yet.
Geometric lattice of crystal formations with intricate patterns of energy. Low-level tetrametric radiation detected. Also, I would 100% have been, oh no. Just that's always seemed so horrifying to me. To step into a transporter and then just never rematerialize. And not to belabor this, but it's so much worse when you consider that there was an episode of Star Trek The Next Generation that sort of showed from Commander Barclay's perspective what it's like to be inside of a transporter beam, and that he was like aware of the time passing. I don't think that's what it would be like where you'd be trapped there infinitely, but just the unmaking of yourself, just the disassembly of yourself on a cellular level into energy and just dissipated. Maybe it's not as bad. Maybe it would be completely painless. It's not something that I'd want to go through. Geometrically arranged sparkling structures exhibiting a wide range of colors, textures, and shapes formed through natural or artificial processes. Heavy tetrametric radiation detected. Oh.
This way.
Nothing. I can't reach anyone on the lower decks. Internal comms appear to be fully operational again.
That bioforming ray may have transformed dozens of crew members on the lower decks.
Fighting the Aphelion is bad enough. The last thing we need is an insurrection on our own ship.
Which means we have a narrow window of time to cut them off before...
Captain! We're holding them off as best we can on Deck 9, but...
If they spread throughout the decks, we'll never know who to trust.
Lock down the affected areas immediately. Close the bulkheads and erect the containment fields. No one is allowed in or out without my authorization.
There could be crew members who weren't affected who could get locked inside.
That's a risk we'll have to take.
Locking down the lower decks.
And what happens if some of the bioformed manage to escape? How should the crew engage them? Or should they? We don't want suspicion to run rampant.
Captain Solano had a favorite proverb from Earth. Trust but verify. Everyone should assume we're all on the same side. But at the same time, they should watch for anything abnormal.
Commander Westbrook has been gone for quite some time.
The comm system he went to investigate. It's near the affected area. Commander Westbrook? Commander Westbrook, are you there?
Computer shutdown initiated.
Commander Westbrook? He's the one who initiated the shutdown.
That's impossible.
We have 10 minutes until the computer core shuts down and all systems are completely offline. A complete loss of all critical ship functions. Only the captain can override it. But the computer core itself...
With me.
Stop! Identify yourselves!
We're just trying to figure out what's happening. Ah, to hell with it.
You have to get to the computer core! Go!
The Master Console is up there. I don't have much time.
By the way, I did not say phaser set to stun, because I would assume that's standard operating procedure.
Captain, are you in here? Are you all right? Ermont asked me to come find you. I came the minute I heard you might be in danger. I'll get this door open. I think I remember the code. Hope you haven't been hurt, Captain. It's not safe here. Chaos in the halls.
Tell me, where were you when the bioforming ray hit the ship?
Well, I was in the turbo lift. Now just stay still. These Federation weapons are so primitive.
Computer termination sequence in progress.
Damn it!
In retrospect, I don't know why I didn't aim the phaser at him. Like we were specifically told that it was his command code that disabled the computer.
I'm done playing games with you, Captain. You're only delaying the inevitable.
Oh boy, oh gosh.
Computer termination sequence in progress. Awaiting Captain's authorization.
Cancel computer shutdown.
Against everything you believe in. Besides, you and I, we have history.
Westbrook and I have history. You're not him.
Okay. Okay.
Awaiting Captain's authorization. Awaiting Captain's authorization.
Cancel computer shutdown. Voice authorization, Rydick. Charlie. 3. X-ray.
Termination sequence cancelled.
I am gambling very heavily on there being some sort of a reversal for this. Go. I used the wrong stick. Also, the fact that Rydick, we haven't seen her fight before, but, like, she did, like,
These are the arteries of power coming from the cortabula at the heart of the Aphelion. I can feel it coursing through my own body.
She'd referenced jujitsu before about taking enemies, like, the thrust of their attack and turning it against them, and then we get to see her do that with that, like, back throw. I don't know what anything is called, but it felt like that was putting into practice what she had said earlier. That was a super nice touch.
Look there. I cannot move as freely inside this ship. Those emitters are why. If they were deactivated, I could travel past this chamber without setting foot in it.
Only Takan can use Takan technology. How do I turn them off?
Place these on the emitters. It will suppress their effect. The guards none the wiser.
Got it.
I'm coming too.
If we both get caught, it's over. If it's just me, you can try again after I fail.
Well then, don't screw it up.
I can't phaser any of the guards. It'll alert every Takan in here.
Almost got it.
I do not know if Rydick and Diaz are modeled after any, like, actual actors, like they're motion capture actors, but the lopsided smile that Diaz has in particular seems like something that would be modeled after, like, the actual actor. It's like such a specific trait.
guards can see the whole room from there. How am I gonna get past them? Maybe the crystals portal gave me will get a reaction out of these consoles.
And one that I don't feel like I see modeled on game characters very often.
Worked! Better move.
I'm assuming I go this way.
Who's there? I see you. I must be seeing things.
Two to go.
I'm going to note in advance that I feel like my odds of doing 3 consoles in an instant fail stealth section on the very first try is very low. Or the odds are very low.
An intruder. Guess I was wrong.
Oh man, thank God that guy is extremely farsighted. Okay, like, am I trying to go up the stairs? Because I would think that I'd want to go over there. I'm gonna wait for him to turn back to the right. In a situation like this, I would much rather have the stealth section be a little bit too forgiving than a lot a bit too hard. So, although that was very funny, I'm not in any way upset about it. Can I? No, I cannot go over there. Okay.
That captain known as Rydak has left an impression on Galvin. I believe he wants to bioform her most of all. One inferior life.
So I could use the console behind me, but I don't know why I would do that if I can just run past this person. And then hopefully not hang out there. There's probably some achievement for, like, you know, distract 5 guards by using Takan crystals or something. Okay, let's... Now, there's a second person in here. Right, that person. Did I time this exactly wrong?
One left.
I would like to believe that it is checkpointing between each of these 3, and yet on previous occasions where it's been like a combat sequence or something else, it'll throw right back to the beginning of the chapter. So I feel like the stakes are only escalating as we go further in. While we're just sort of like moving around here, yeah, I feel spectacularly stupid that Ermot specifically said, oh, it's Westbrook's command codes that have been used to shut down the computer. And then when we saw him there, it was like, just didn't take... Oh, shit.
Wait a moment. I must be mistaken.
Didn't take that opportunity to get the phaser lined up. This is somewhat complicated by the fact that I don't actually know where I'm going. Except like this way, because it seems brightly lit. So if I lure that guard at that console, I'm just immediately going to get spotted. Because she's already at the console. And there's a dude right there who's just facing this way. So, I mean, what would you do then? Because she's already there. This person has been distracted. I guess the distraction has a... Boy, this seems extremely stupid. Yeah, no, there's nothing over here. Oh boy, you guys, this is going to be where I'm going to fail it. Okay, let me not tempt fate by going too near that person. I did see somebody's over here on patrol, but I feel like we can probably just... Wait, where did they go? Okay. I'd try to lure a guard to this console, but here's the problem. I don't know which direction they'd be coming from. Oh, maybe we'll lure that person over here? Let me try it. Because if we could lure her away from her station, and then the stationary guard away from his station... Yeah, hold on. I know that I came in this way. It just beggars belief that he wouldn't see me here. Oh my god. So now... So yes, she's gone. Fuck. Okay. There's a dude, like, to my left, is the problem. The stationary guard. Cool. I don't know what that means. So, and he is facing this way, right? Yeah, based on his feet, he's facing this way. Okay, so that person's decided to go on his way. I'm gonna try to do... Okay, that's extremely bad. Oh, God.
I was mistaken.
Okay, so he did leave. I'm gonna go down this way? Is this right? No, it's not. Oh, please, oh, please, oh, please, oh, please, oh, please.
Well done. Let's get out of here. More emitters. Guess we can't teleport the rest of the way.
So the good news is I can't duck, which means that we are not currently in a stealth section.
That craft can take us to the main power chamber.
No way we can make that jump.
When I was younger, maybe.
This might control that craft. Portal, a little help?
I should be able to bring it to us.
There!
Okay.
What the hell? I've got this thing set to maximum stun. How are they getting up?
Something's different about the Takan here. Stunning isn't an option.
Get in!
I'm trying to hit the guy.
This would go faster if you did something about them.
Fudge, okay.
It's a Guardian! He's with them!
We have to sink that other ship. Shoot the pilot!
The enemy pilot must be shot down. The force field protecting the pilot will take a lot of damage before it goes down. When the force field is down, the pilot is vulnerable. Okay, we just took 4 points of hull damage. I don't know where the... You would think that the pilot is in the front. I can't target that person. Hold on. So, I guess only the pilot I should be shooting at? Because you, like, I cannot see the pilot right now. So I feel like people can probably see what's happening. I can't see the pilot to shoot the pilot, even when the thing like they're not in my visual range. And also when it's blinking the flag saying, "Hey, this is somebody who's about to like attack your craft," I also can't target them because even when I'm on the right side of our ferry, I can't move the camera over far enough to get the cursor onto them. We're gonna retry. Regular retries A. Like, I cannot move over further to the left right now at all. Oh my god, this is pretty frustrating, actually. Like, so, right this minute, is there something I'm supposed to be doing over here? Okay, I just took multiple more fairy hit points worth of damage, and I also want to note, like, I've got left and right. You know, I can't remove from this wall. This is actually... So, something appears to have misfired. I'm just going to stand up and get shot a whole bunch. And then we'll retry it again. A for regular retry. That felt like we hit a little bit of a bug. Hopefully it'll be a one-time thing. And I can't move over to the left further. Man, that's really frustrating. So this is the position, obviously, that I got stuck in last time. I'm not following... Avoid being shot by the Takan. Good advice. A for regular retry. To any extent that I can, I'm going to focus fire on the cockpit. I don't know. I layered multiple shots into where it was telling me the next shot was coming from, and just doesn't seem to make any difference. Oh man, the fact that you can't shoot during this long segment where it's... Oh, and the fact that, like, right there, as far as I could see, I never had a bead on the person that was going to shoot our ferry, and yet the shot still went off and we lost a whole bunch of hull points. I would swear that I did not see an incoming fire warning. But it was probably there, because, like, what tends to happen here is that I'm very focused on the cursor. And then I miss the bright blinking incoming fire. Okay, I guess I'll just get down. What the heck?
Guardian! You saw what they did to our ancestors! How do you stand with them?
We've left them behind. I've seen it with my own eyes. They're not real Takan. We were conquerors, not parasites. The souls I pushed your captain to spare will not be used for this end.
You are the last real Takan. Don't let them tarnish that with what they're doing. Because if we don't stop the Scions of the Flame, they will be the legacy of your people.
Never.
That's the attitude.
Yeah, I don't think any spoilers here.
I'm doing everything I can, but I can't shake her.
I figured
that ferry sequence felt really, really bad, and this is going to be a great point to cut the episode. So I think what we'll do is probably just visit the main menu so that we can hopefully start this scene anew rather than having me talk over it. So we will see you again for part 11 coming up in just a few moments, I hope.